Greetings. This is Skyler Saunders seeing what's current. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, logging on, and let's get right into it. The show is going to concern AI, not Allen Iverson, but artificial intelligence. People are screaming, people are crying, people are wailing about the onslaught, quote unquote, of AI, of artificial intelligence. Luddites are fearful of the idea of machines and computers taking over for what could be a serious and earth shattering and ground moving way of life that we will be experiencing in the coming years. Now, the applications of artificial intelligence include the arts and sciences. In art, you can have different programs that govern music, and also you have literature and other forms of entertainment and art, such as plays and movies. And this could change our entire scope of what it means to be a human being. Now, with those who fear the future instead of want to see it better, I say look in the past. We had sewing machines. When sewing machines came out, people lost their minds. They said they're going to take people's jobs. They said it's going to decrease the workforce and not allow people to make the clothing themselves. It didn't happen. In fact, productivity increased by a large margin, and people were satisfied with their jobs being seamstresses. So, with the advent of automobiles, it's a similar case. Instead of horses and buggies, you had vehicles that could take you from one place to another, and it will be either in those days it was especially battery powered, but also there would be fossil fuel powered cars to come along and revolutionize the entire world, and that was a great way for us to experience. Now, given the fact that it is in the top 20 and in the top 10 in the world, in the United States, in the top 20, and around the world, it's number 8, the most uh, deaths because of car collisions. It's imperative that we put things in context and that we don't use floating abstractions or just ideas that aren't weighted down with truth and facts. When we have things like AI, artificial intelligence, you have something that could be specific for detecting cancers, treating those cancers, and a whole host of other different maladies that currently afflict human beings. Across the world, there still is an epidemic and a pandemic of the COVID-19 virus. If there was AI applied to the problem with the virus, we may have been able to stop it earlier and not even have to experience quarantines or things of that nature. So, when you have the power to say that artificial intelligence is something that is a good thing and that will increase and enhance and improve human lives, that is more on the lines of reason. If you shun it and you try to back away from it and make it see something that it's not, then we will have something that is a problem. We will have something that says that there's no way that human beings can achieve their ends and goals. We can only say that we have the ability to just stay in, these ages. They're not the dark ages yet, but or again, but we're very close to being marginalized in that regard. And so I say again, what would you say is the number one cause or number one idea that restricts you or withholds you or keeps you from fully understanding what it is to be a advocate or a proponent of artificial intelligence. It's such a great thing. It's such a wonderful idea. It's just like CRISPR. CRISPR is one of the best ideas to ever come out in the last decade or quarter century or even half century. It's there to help out people in their medical issues. So it's about as much as anyone could even conceive of. It's better. It's more than anyone could even dream of in certain circumstances. It's something that is a good thing because it is just like everything else. People were afraid of, well, not afraid of, but people were saying that things were a fad. Like AI is going to be a fad. Like it's going to just peter out, but it's here to stay. People were saying that talkies, instead of silent movies, were going to be phased out in a few years, and we all know what the results of that was. In reality, it is proper to accept the ideas that are true and right, and AI, artificial intelligence, is right. It used to be science fiction, now it's becoming science fact. Something that used to be a problem is now more than a solution, because people have been able to figure out a way to discover certain parts of what AI represents. AI is something that is going to be a driving force until always. I mean, think about bringing out to the moon and Mars. Think about all the different people that are going to be able to use AI to study and look at the stars and look at what happens. It's going to be something that's going to be more geared toward people that wish to look towards the heavens and see not just the natural state, but in fact the reality of what's going on. So I say to you again, what is it about AI that scares people? What is it that makes people shudder in fear of what's going on in the world? What is it? What what does it take for people to realize that it is such a benefit and a boon and a boost to human nature and human life that we should be able to discuss with great diction and great understanding the ideas of these scientists and artists that plan to make great and wonderful work, to do wonderful jobs because of the fact of artificial intelligence, not in despite it. And of course, like I said, with auto collisions, it kills millions of people every day and around the world. Millions. Tens of thousands in America and hundreds of thousands in other areas. But we still drive cars. They still help us get from one place to another. And just imagine if AI were in cars. How many collisions would there be a year? How many collisions would there be in a day? And how many traffic deaths would there be? AI is such a great tool that we have to understand that it's something that we're we're invested in. We have to invest in these different programs. All the scientists who program little robots to kick soccer balls into the goals, or football, if you choose to say. I would say that it's I say respect to Ricardo and Manuel chiming in. Make sure you share the link tonight so you get more people on the live. And I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that donate button too, or that chat cash app. Remember my Cash App. Cash App is very easy. It's Skyler Saunders. It's the $ Skyler Saunders 1. But that's where we are right now. This is an exciting period in our lives. You have the Chat GPT. You got Dali. You have all these different things for arts, but you also have to remember that there's people that would contend that the technology is going to outrule humanity. It's not the case. It hasn't ever been the case. It's never been the case of that. Never been the case. Not in all human history. So, I say to you, when you have the Cash App available, make sure you know that I put it in the comments, the chat room, and please, use it effectively, so I can continue to do these shows. I would love to continue to do these, but it costs money like anything else. All right, so back on topic, back on the train. Artificial intelligence has propelled people like symphony writers. It's propelled people like novelists. Now, there are completely, erroneous and wrong ways of using artificial intelligence. I mean, imagine the wars that will be fought. The Bible says will be wars and rumors of wars. Now, that, of course, is nonsense to an extent, because there doesn't have to be wars. There might be somebody that could start a rumor about a war, but there doesn't have to be the war. We can live in relative peace. And during the 19th century, we lived in relative peace around the world. Of course, there was the Civil War in America, and there were skirmishes in the early 19th century and in different wars, the Napoleonic wars. But after that and before the Civil War, there was virtually no wars fought. And post slavery in America, there wasn't a war until the First World War. And America kept expanding and kept growing and kept being bigger and bigger until you get to the World War II, where America comes out as the only sole superpower. That's amazing. And just imagine how, you have people like, you had people that were, it started the machines in the computer age. They definitely should get their credit, because they had every opportunity to be like Alan Turing. Alan Turing is responsible largely for ending the World War II on good terms on the Allied side, because of his mind, because he thought, because he used his own brain to really delve into the fact that you have to be ahead of the game by technology. That's what wins wars. That's what educates children. That's what motivates writers. That's what builds the ideas for scientists and doctors. This is what it is. The technology. That is what we're facing. This is the information age. A lot of people say, well, we're going to be in the AI age pretty soon. We're going to be in the artificial intelligence age. And there was even a movie about artificial intelligence by Steven Spielberg, and I think it was written by by Kubrick, Steven Kubrick, in 2001, and it dealt with different ideas. Stanley Kubrick, excuse me, not Steven. Stanley Kubrick wrote the screenplay for artificial intelligence, and he had the idea in his mind to demonstrate what it really meant. Well, the screenplay was written by Steven Spielberg, pardon me, but it was in development by Stanley Kubrick, and he acquired the rights to the story, but then it got into what they call development hell for a little while, and Spielberg wanted to keep on making it, and so he just shot it, and it did decent. It was a very expensive movie, especially for that time. It was $90 to $100 million according to Wikipedia, and it brought in $235 million. It should have probably brought in $800 to $1 billion for the way it was marketed and the way that it was brought to the masses. But it it put into perspective what it means to have artificial intelligence. This little boy, he's a quote unquote robot, I guess you could say, but he has artificial intelligence, and he just goes on a journey of self-discovery. That was the gist of the film, and that's what could happen with us. We discovered not robots like this, but actual human beings or people that could be like robots that have intelligence or quote unquote intelligence, not human intelligence, and they'll be better than some people in the way of manufacturing things, of creating different stories, of making anything, and that's what is key here. The fact that we have so many different outlets to enjoy ourselves. Think about the entertainment field. Think about the relaxation industry, the services industry. Think about all the different ways that we'll be able to just go up to a drive-through, and there'll be everything counted in the bag. You don't have to search it. Make sure they missed the straw or didn't have the sauce that you wanted. Everything will be perfect and to the point. But that may not be the point. The reality as well. There will be mistakes. Artificial intelligence probably won't be perfect, just like a human. It's not perfect technically. You'll be perfect morally, but skills wise, you may falter in some regard. So that could be like the AI. Artificial intelligence could be just like the industry where we made buggy whips. People that were you had their whole businesses, their whole lives, surrounded and made by the manufacturer of buggy whips. They'll be taken away. They'll be said, we're in cars. We're going to need horseless carriages, and you don't need to make these buggy whips anymore because the horses won't be necessary for the roads. And that's important because you look at the late 19th century, London, it's already foggy and rainy and dreary, and it makes you drowsy. But the amount of horse manure and other cat and dog waste and all kinds of heavy machinery that's pumping out coal into the air, and it's just making it a smoggy, foggy, dark, and dreary place. The elimination of the need for horses to draw carriages, we were able to advance and to go on and continue with our lives. And it's like with anything, when people saw laptops and computers, and for the first time, they said, "Oh no, they're going to get rid of our typewriters. What are we going to use to write? Well, we'll use computers. Well, what about the computers? What if we want to get something out really fast and we don't have a printer? Well, you buy a printer and there's always a solution to whatever ails us. And the advent of AI will be something that will challenge and increase our abilities to be better human beings. We will be challenged to be the best persons that we can possibly be. The amount of engineers that will be excited to get up in the morning and work on a problem. The amount of artists who get up in the morning and say, I want to work on this essay. They'll get help from the AI. people are screaming, "Oh no, AI is going to take our jobs! Oh my God, what are we going to do?" And they're worse than the Writers Guild, writers. This is it's even worse. I know it's legitimate that they want their rights, but when you come to the grand scheme of it, they're being selfish without being they're themselves. They're not aware of the fact that they're being self-interested, but for all their politics and all their way of life, they think that things should be handed to them. They disregard the fact that there's people being literally choked out in the streets. New York is a flurry with that. And just imagine about that. Just imagine about what AI could do for that. It could spot and be smart enough to detect if somebody was a threat, whether the late Neely was a threat or not, and the ex-Marine, if he was a threat. It will be able to detect that and resolve the issue calmly and peacefully. And it would be a computer system instead of a human being that would be attacked. And maybe that might cost a few $1,000s or $1,000,000 or whatever the case may be. But it wouldn't be a human life. And that's what this is all about. This is not about just upping AI because it's so cool and oh my God, it's going to revolutionize the world, which it will. But it's about joining in the idea of making it better, making life better, making it a beautiful place to be on this earth, on the moon, on Mars, wherever we may go. Imagine all the different components that could be created because of AI. Imagine all the different ways that we could be challenged because of AI. This would be something that will be a great asset for human beings and human life. Our way of challenging ourselves, of our way of noting to ourselves that we can advance and continue and be better and build better and go against what the evil President Obama said. You didn't build that, borrowing from his buddy Elizabeth Warren. Well, somebody did build that. Somebody did set out and say that they created their wealth, that they built up their lives. That's what AI can do. Anybody who is behind it, any corporation or company that wants to start building and creating AI sources and systems, that's what's most important. That will bring human life up, the standard of living and life expectancy and the quality of life. All those things will increase, and we won't have to worry about it. Think about AI in the field of police work and the military. There wouldn't be any more deaths on our side. I'm worried about the United States of America. I'm a United States Marine. I don't want to see any more Marines die. I don't want to see any soldiers, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, sailors, Space Force cadets, I guess. I don't want to see them die. If we had the opportunity to make artificial intelligent troops, that would be amazing and astonishing because there wouldn't be a need for somebody's mama to cry, somebody to say, oh, my brother died in the war, or my sister died in the war, or my cousin died in the war, my mama died in the war, my father has PSTD, my sister has one leg. It'll be all artificial intelligence. And let the robots be. It's just like the robot wars they have on TV, the battle bots. Let the robots fight it out, and you say whichever robot wins gets the spoils. And I know for a fact that the United States has the power, from IBM all the way to Apple, has the brain power to power these machines. And if you didn't know, IBM stands for International Business Machines. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're fighting for, that we should be fighting for. The fact that the AI are contending with human brains is a fallacy. It's not a contention. It's an advancement. The brains behind AI will set us into a world of greatness and acknowledgement by ourselves. We can congratulate ourselves. We can pat ourselves on the back because we know that it takes great strength of character and mind to develop these systems, to develop AI. AI is just another stepping stone for us to advance in our culture and the world culture, not just America, America especially, because that's where I am. That's where my home, and that's where I've always been. I've never been anywhere but America, and I plan to go outside the country in the next decade. But we have to look at ourselves and say that AI is not a detriment. It is absolutely the opposite. It is a benefit. It gives us the impetus for creating and building and making, for producing. This is a producer's goal. The goal of the producer, the goal of the maker and the shaker, of the ones who get it done. The ones who know how to do things, that are competent, that are confident, that have self-esteem, that are rational, that use their minds, that are thinking. That's what we have to get to. That's the functioning we have to have. We have to have that same amount of courage and the same amount of willpower to find our way through all of this. We have the opportunity to say that this is going to be the generation that will make AI make better medicines, make better novels, make better speeches, cancer survivors, make better smoking survivors, make better everything. That's what AI stands for, not Allen Iverson. It's artificial intelligence, which is not quite proper to say intelligence because there's no really intelligence except in human minds. But it's close. So I'm just using it as a disclaimer, saying AI is not intelligence technically, not properly. But just as a shorthand, I'm using it tonight. AI, artificial intelligence. Because it's not, if there were no human brains, there would be no artificial intelligence. And this isn't HAL 9000, I think it is, from another Kubrick, project, 2001: A Space Odyssey. This isn't that. This is not what should be causing fear and worriment in people's minds. This should be causing great achievements across the land. This should be causing great excitement and entice people to want to make $1 from this. That's another aspect. Who are the Bill Gates and the Steve Jobs and the Mark Zuckerbergs, and who are the people that want to invest in this? Who are the Warren Buffetts? Who are the Peter Thiels? Where are they? Who wants to get in on this? There's money to be made. Let's get it. Let's go after it. That's what AI is standing for. That is what AI means. AI is what will propel us to the future and for all time, because the genie's out of the bottle. There's no going back. It's just like the internet. Another example. Oh, the internet's a fad. It's not going to be around that long. It's just for hobbyists. It's just for people that want to talk in chat rooms and date and look at pornography. And of all the people that tried to say that the internet wouldn't amount to anything, look what happened. The dot-com bubble. Out of the bubble burst, so many different companies. Google acquired YouTube. There's Yahoo. There's Bing. There's all these search engines that are even, and like I said, the last one is Bing, is representing for AI. It's integrating the artificial intelligence of various systems. The algorithms will be even smarter. They'll be able to detect pedophiles and reject them, and be able to protect children on the internet. That'll be the highlight of being in this space. That'll be the highlight of knowing what it means to be in tune with what it means to be AI. AI is the future, but it is also the present. We're doing it right now. We're doing it right now. As I speak, there are people looking at GPT chat or chat GPT. I always confuse them. Chat GPT, yeah. And there's Juke Deck and other different special things. I heard that, the song with Drake and The Weeknd, allegedly it's not them. It was all created via AI, and it sounded just like their voices. It sounded like the lyrics that they would say. I was astounded. It was amazing, and people are flipping their lids. People are actually flipping the lids over the fact that they don't know the power of how to govern themselves around AI. They just don't know. They have no clue how to properly handle themselves when it comes to artificial intelligence. It's a problem because people get so wound up and so up in arms about something, and then it goes away. The people that said that the internet wasn't going to matter, then they just went away. Because we had an explosion. Not just the search engines, but social media. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, also on my Facebook, and Meta. Discord, Mastodon, a whole host of other properties, Twitter. We've been able to discover these things because of the fact that we put in the work to do it. Web 2.0, technically Web 3.0. There are sites that I can mention right now that you never heard of. You never even heard of them before. I can tell you about Rever.com. Rever.com was a site that allows you to put up videos and make money from them way before YouTube even had that concept. I made $49 with Rever.com in a matter of 3 months, I think it was. It was amazing because I had a job at a department store, Burlington, and I made, a few $100s a week because the taxes were taken out. So it was maybe $85 to $110 a week. And what happened was with Rever is I made $10 in one day, and I was ecstatic. I said, I'm doing something I love to do, and I'm getting paid for it. This is amazing. Please, God, there is no God, but please, God, let there be a way for me to continue with this whole idea of making money because off of what I want to do. That's all I wanted, to make money off of what I love. And Rever just went away. It just went into the internet graveyard. You can still look it up, Revver. It's a palindrome. You can look it up on Internet Archive and look in the Wayback Machine and type it in. Look, you can just browse and see what the pages look like. I'll give you another one. Spymac.com. SpyMac.com was like for enthusiasts of Apple. And they had a program called Leapfrog. And Leapfrog had a special way of allowing you to make money by uploading videos. So what did I do? I just uploaded silent videos of myself posing. Who knows? But I was posing in these videos, and I just kept uploading. I uploaded like 30 or 40 videos, and I made $124. And I was ecstatic again. I said, Spider-Man, please God, there is no God. But I said, please God, let this site stay on here forever, because I want to make more money and do whatever I want to do with my art and my photography and my mind. I just thought about that. Just kept on thinking about it. And then SpyMac went away. So I was downcast. And then I said, I got to get real with this. I got to get money somehow. So I joined the United States Marine Corps because my recruiter, who never lied to me, never said a lie. A lot of people say, oh, my recruiter lied to me. I was going to get this bonus, and I was going to get these girls, and I was going to be able to wear my blues when I wanted. Oh, and crying. When the fact is, my recruiter never told me one lie. He said, when you go to boot camp, you'll get a check. That's when you start making money. And I was excited for that. And I haven't missed a check since 2007. Not one. Not a single check since 2007. And I salute Jody Lee the Outlaw for being in the chat room. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Continue to support me through my Cash App, and continue to share the show. I appreciate you, Jody. Thank you. And Ricardo, continue to laugh out loud. Laugh as long as you want. But that's just a little, part of my bio. But I sincerely thought, that there was going to be another site. And there was. Blip.tv. I used their platform. I didn't get paid. I didn't get a payout. Never got a payout. But I used their platform to find enough money to support my dreams again. Now, I made $5.46, but the cutoff is $20. You got to have at least $20 to cash out. What happened to Blip.tv? I didn't even get paid, so I didn't even worry about them being phased out. They became a separate entertainment company, and then that even phased out. So, my journey continued on the internet that people said was going to be a fad and phase out and not be a boon to human life. I went on to make money with Tron.com. And guess how much money I made there? 72 cents. And they were able to cash that out. I was able to cash out 72 cents and went right into my bank account. It was a writing platform. This wasn't a video platform. LibTV was a video platform. SpyMac was a video platform. Rever was a video platform. This was a writing platform primarily. It allowed you to see dividends if you got that far based on your talent of writing. And I'm a writer. I don't grade myself based on, other people, but I say that I'm a good writer. I'm a very good writer. I'm not yet an excellent writer, but I'm very good. I'm not terrible or mediocre. I'm very good, but not excellent. Not quite to that level yet. I've not achieved the level of excellence that I aspire and strive to be. Now, with that 72 cents, what happened to Tron? Are you seeing a pattern here? Are you seeing a little pattern? It went away. It stopped. There was a problem in the way that people saw Tryon. I think people didn't understand her, and it just phased out. It was an Israeli company. It was based in Tel Aviv, one of America's allies. It was a great company. I didn't get paid much, but I loved to be able to write when I wanted. I didn't get that, like I said, I didn't get that much pay, but I certainly got that 72 cents and was happy with it because that's from my mind. I earned it. I could say that's my 72 cents that I earned, that I put in the work for. So it goes. As one of my favorite writers, Kurt Vonnegut, would say, with death. So it goes. So it went. And so I went searching for another entity that would allow me to make enough money on the internet. It took me another 5 years, 5 full years, from 2012 to 2017, to see what corporation or company will be able to supplement my dreams. And that company is, of course, the one and only company that I currently deal with right now, in my mind, and on there. You can't find it anywhere else. You won't be able to find it in a Wikipedia search. They haven't gotten to that point yet. You can find the you can find a very short paragraph about what it is, but beyond that, you won't find anything else. You can find the person who runs it, Jeremy Frummer. You can find some information on him, but Vocal.media is the truest, most highly regarded, in my estimation, site, because it is so true. I've made over $2,000 with this site. Took me 5 years, about 4 years, to make $2,000. But do you see the progression? You see the difference between those companies that I mentioned before, and the little bit of money that I had, and the lot of bit of money that I'm still making right now, that I just cashed out $20, that I can make from tips, pledges, earnings, and other forms of income. It's an excellent site, and I'm just boosting it and promoting it on behalf of myself. I'm not affiliated with their advertising company. I'm not getting paid to say it's such a great company, but I'm just stating the fact that it is a wonderful B-level company. It's not perfect, still has its defects, but it's on par with some of the best companies on the internet. Now, I say all that to say this. AI is like that. It's like cryptocurrency. It's highly volatile. It's a highly volatile state. But there are people making millions, if not billions of dollars from cryptocurrency. There are millions and billions of people that are making hundreds to thousands of dollars and not really seeing a whole lot of profits off of it either. That's just a fact. But what is so important to realize is anything new is going to be chastised, blasphemized, and denigrated right off the bat because it's new. Just because it's not tried and true and a part of the culture and a part of everyday life yet, we'll be living like the Jetsons and better. That famous cartoon that, maybe you have to ask your aunt and uncle or your dad or mom or your grandparents what the Jetsons was. You have to see that, like Jody Lee the Outlaw says, AI has already won humans. They just don't seem to know it yet. I'm paraphrasing. But that's a great example. That's a great analogy. That's a great observation. We just don't know it yet. Just like we didn't know about horses and buggies going in the cars. Just like we didn't know about air travel. Just how we didn't know about building skyscrapers as tall as we do. Do we cut down on the length and the height of skyscrapers? Especially after 9/11. Do we say, oh no, we can't fly planes anymore? We have to blame the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers. If there were no Wright brothers, there would be no planes crashing into skyscrapers. That's how much nonsense that makes. And that's where we are right now with AI. If it weren't for the builders of AI, we wouldn't have the issues that we have now with copyright and patents that AI is taking. But that's where we are. We're already here. We're already in AI age. It's not even like the internet age where there was like a point where like, oh, we have to get through this point and then the next point and then the bubble burst and then 2.0 and then social media. No, we're already in AI. There are already hospital systems that are using artificial intelligence. There are already NASA, missions that are prepared to have AI involved. This is very serious. It's serious fun. It's very serious when you talk about how you can heal melanoma or mesothelioma or the measles or the mumps or things like that through the power of AI. It's fun when you think about how there's going to be symphonies created. There's going to be artists rendering. There's going to be different vocalists that'll be able to use their voices in different ways. Or not even use their voices, just use modulation through the AI system and create better work. Create wonderful works of art. That's where we're headed. That's where we're supposed to go. Once we get to the point where we say, all right, AI is the truth. And now I'm not talking about Allen Iverson again. Once again, I'm not talking about the Hall of Famer, NBA basketball player. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. I'm talking about the ways that we transition, how there's going to be failures, how there's going to be mess ups, how there's going to be various points where we're going to have to correct ourselves. That's where we're headed. That's the point where we have to get to. That's the point where we have to say that we're in the best civilization in all of human history. The least violence, the least plagues, all kinds of advancements in health and medicine. People are living well into their the lower hundreds, mid 90s and lower hundreds. When just a few generations ago, we were living to be 39, 40 years old. Just going back a few hundred years, a few decades. We were living to be 60. Now 60-year-olds are biking and hiking and playing tennis and basketball and all kinds of, and used to be in a wheelchair 30, 40 years ago. Used to be in a asylum or used to be in a bed, bound by a bed. That's where AI is headed. That's where we're going. That's the part of the equation that we have to get. Excuse me. We have to understand the fact that we are a part of something so much larger than ourselves. Whoa, what is that? Everybody says that. Oh my God, I want to be part of something larger than myself. I want to be part of something. It's a totally different meaning. You are an individual. I'm an individual. There's nothing larger than yourself. There are institutions that are older, that have more members, that are more, esteemed than yourself, but nothing is larger than the individual, because without the individual, there is no thing that's larger than yourself. There's no country, there's no military, there's no arts guild larger than yourself. That's a fallacy. So as I was saying, I see in the chat, I miss Joy L. Hello here from Star Show. I have to catch the re-upload. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And also continue to support my Cash App. If you have another way of paying, let me know, because I'll do PayPal as well if that suits your interests. If that will be something that will help you and get you to be a supporter of this. If you want to be a supporter of, continue to always uphold what it means to be a supporter. I do need my supporters. And I appreciate everyone who already donated. Houston, if you're out there, I appreciate you, sir. You're my first person in history to give me a Cash App of $5, and I take that $5 because it's better than $0. I thank you for that, sir. Thank you. And if we could get back on to the AI, I would definitely say that there's a chance for us to be acquainted with AI if we give it a chance. That's all. We've given everything else a chance. Everything else has worked. And we can't blame the developers and the creators if AI even this is a big if. If AI even turns into the Terminator, or a cyborg, or some kind of monstrous being that turns on human life. That's a huge if. That's a gigantic if. We're looking at when AI cooperates with human beings, when AI becomes another example of how human ingenuity has brought us to a place of well-being and exactitude, having exact missions, exact focus on what we're able to do. That's where we are now. We're so focused on and we're so hung up on the ideas of being Luddites, of not embracing technology and new things. We're so confused at the point of which way we can go based on other people's ideals, or whatever happened in the past, or whatever happened in their personal lives. But AI is here, and we just have to recognize it. That's the key goal, is to recognize the fact that AI is here for a reason. AI is a wonderful tool, and you can never blame the tool. Mass shootings, suicides, nothing. You never blame the tool in these situations. And those are the negatives. I mean, you can blame social media on so many different turfs. You can say, they're going to take away my self-esteem, and that's a fallacy. It was reinforced in the Marine Corps when they said there's no such thing as somebody taking away your self-esteem. It is yourself. It is the esteem you place on yourself. That is the key. That is what's important. So when you have the wherewithal to know and to recognize the fact that you're able to see the differences in AI and human interaction, you'll be able to understand that taking AI and put it in context is the best and most possible outcomes. Is the best of all that, because it gives you a clear insight into what it means to be an engineer. I'll give you STEAM: a scientist, technologist, engineer, artist, or mathematician. STEAM. That's what AI is really. That is it in a nutshell. STEAM. Science, technology, engineering, artistry, mathematics. It is right now as I speak in my own under my own voice. There are individuals working on projects to bring better medicines, to bring better books, to bring better chemistry sets, to bring all these different things to the marketplace. Because that's where we are. We're all trying to get money, and that's a beautiful thing. But in order to get money, to make money, you have to do that. That's another key answer. People say, "Oh, I got to make some money." Well, you got to make the money. You have to produce. You have to actually use your brain to make money. You have to produce it. It has to be on par with creating anything. From taking the first genius who put a seed into the earth, into the ground, and then cultivated a plant. And then the next genius that came along that said, wait a minute, that's a good idea. Why don't we make a whole field of that? And then they said, okay, that makes sense. And then you have agriculture. And then it continues and it rises and it builds and builds and builds all the way up. Until you get to the point where you have enough people that understand that it's not scary. The seed wasn't scary. Oh no, I don't want to put the seed into the ground. Look at what happened. Now you're going to have bugs and all kinds of rodents and different things like that that are going to destroy your crops. And that could be an analogy for now. You know, there could be different bugs in the AI system. There could be different features that make errors that aren't proper and that aren't right. That'll be confusing. That's not going to deter anyone. That's not going to say to anyone to. It's not going to say anything to anyone to say that they're not. To say that they're not appreciated. To say that they're not even on the same level as you. That's what I'm saying. That's what is so crucial to where we are right now. That's where we're so informative that we have to keep ourselves informed about AI and what its possibilities are, because they seem endless right now. Right now, they seem so endless that we have no idea beyond, science fiction what is possible. One of my great Bradbury, they made great fiction and artistry. The late great writers, late great fantasy and science fiction writers. Even though Nelson despised the term science fiction, we have to acknowledge that. But they created lives and their works, and they had challenged the ideals of the past to create something that was new, something that was innovative, something that was good. And you know what's also new, innovative, and good? This channel. And it has to be supported. I appreciate every single dollar that I've already earned. And please continue to share and let other people know and subscribe so that I can hit my 1,000 viewers or subscribers mark. And I appreciate your time and effort. And I hope you do have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. Thank you.